Welcome back to Jazzy's Cozy Corner. I'm Jazzy, and I will be reading you stories as you go about your merry day. So grab that drink, find your comfort, or embrace the hustle of the day, and enjoy the stories I have for you. Am I the A for avoiding my childhood friend after she called me a beggar for living in my ex-husband's house? My 29 female ex-husband Carter, 27 male, divorced almost 4 years ago. He divorced me. I was blindsided because I thought we had a very happy marriage. Unfortunately, this year, I was in a hit and run and was hospitalized. My insurance didn't cover much and they never found out who did it. I drained my savings. I couldn't live in my apartment anymore. Since I could no longer physically walk up 5 flights of stairs, I had a job but was let go. I was struggling and it was a low point in my life. Carter and I hadn't kept in touch, but he contacted me and said that I could live in one of his spare rooms. I had no other options. I offered to pay him rent, but he refused. He had a maid for chores. I cooked for him sometimes. It's okay. He's very chatty and bubbly, and if I close my eyes, I can pretend we're friends again, and we never took the leap into a relationship and a divorce. My childhood friend called me to express sympathies that I couldn't find a place. I told her that I was living with Carter. She insisted on coming over as she also had been friends with him and had refused to take a side. When she arrived, Claire started to talk about how this was a bad situation. She asked me if I paid rent and I told her no. She said that his pity would end and asked if I wanted to be a beggar for the rest of my life. I told her I wasn't a beggar. She would tell our friends. I pleaded with her not to. Claire then said that if I didn't think that what I was doing was wrong, I wouldn't have cared if she told everyone. I feel humiliated and ashamed. I have been avoiding her. She called me yesterday and said that I was being childish and emotionally manipulative for behaving that way. So am I the A? Update. A couple of days after my post, Claire reached out and apologized for using harsh words. I accepted her apology, but things were still uncomfortable for me. She said that she found an apartment I could live in. It was on the first floor and had access to public transportation. The rent was high, but not out of my budget. I would be living with 3 other people in the apartment. I checked it out, and it was acceptable. I told Carter Claire had found an apartment for me, and he flipped out. He said I couldn't live there because it was a dangerous part of town. We discussed it and came to a compromise. He would feel better if we went to a hotel in the area for a few days and see how dangerous it was. It was fine for the first few days, but one morning a man followed me. It was frightening. Carter said it was proof the area wasn't safe. I told him this was the only option I had for now, unless I wanted to go back to my parents' house and find a new job there, or sleep on friends' couches. My parents live in a developing country and I don't speak the language well, so that is a last resort. Carter reminded me that he said I could stay as long as I liked. I told him I didn't want to burden him anymore. It was very kind of him to offer, but I can't take advantage of this kindness indefinitely. He said Claire was putting thoughts in my head. I offered to pay him rent again and he finally agreed, but he deliberately wastes rent money on silly things to prove a point. I told him that, but he said if I didn't like it, I could stop paying rent. I dropped the conversation. Claire asked me why I hadn't moved into the apartment. I said I was paying rent to Carter and she chewed me out. Claire and Carter's social circles overlap, so Carter found out about how Claire was saying I chose to stay there even when she found me a new place to live. He got into an argument with me and said that I should stop talking to Claire. He had made an ultimatum, him or Claire. I chose him. Since then, he's been very happy. I'm happy to see how cheerful he is, but I can't handle the constant hugs or snuggles or pinching. It makes me feel bad and dredges up bad thoughts. I feel inadequate and crushed because he may be able to be platonic friends with me, but I still haven't gotten past the hurt. On a positive note, I started physical therapy and signed up for a free counseling program through my work. I have a tight budget, so I have to make it work. And that's all we have of the story so far. Please leave your thoughts and comments below. I would really like to hear from you. Moving on to the next story. Am I wrong for calling off my wedding after my sister-in-law shaved my beard? My 28 male fiance, 25 female, who we'll call Lexi, are a happy couple of 6 years and are engaged for 1. Or so I thought. For context, my fiance's sister, 32 female, we'll call her Sally, has always been hostile towards me and would rarely speak to me, and when she did, it would be because her parents were around. Sally is Lexi's rock because she got her through a tough time during college, and since then, Lexi has told Sally everything about everything. We've had problems with this in the past due to her telling Sally personal things about my childhood. I'd only told a few people, which led us to not speaking for 3 months during COVID, when she'd only leave our room for food and to go to the toilet. And recently, we hadn't had an argument in a year plus, until 3 nights ago she mentioned that she'd like me to shave my beard. For context, I have a very thick beard that I've been growing for 8 years and I'm very proud of. Of course, I told Lexi I wouldn't be shaving my beard, to which she stormed off to the kitchen and slammed her wine glass into the sink, smashing it and a plate in the process. I immediately stood up and asked what the hell she was doing. She then spun around and screamed that I'm a selfish a-hole because I won't shave my beard, and she ran to our bedroom and slammed the door. I ended up sleeping on the couch and woke up around 4 a.m. to Sally with a razor trying to shave my beard, so I pushed her off me. Lexi then ran to check on Sally whilst I was looking at the big patch Sally had taken off of my beard. Then I went upstairs and packed a bag whilst Lexi shouted at me for hurting Sally. I told her to F off and that the wedding was off, and walked out of the house and drove an hour to my parents' house where I've been staying since the incident. Earlier today, I got a text from Sally saying I was selfish for not shaving my beard because when I go down on Lexi, it feels weird. I haven't replied to her. My family thinks I should break off the relationship, but her family said I should just shave it all off and move on. So what should I do? And am I wrong? I've now got, as of typing, 99 plus texts and calls from Lexi saying things like, "Don't leave, let's have Missy one more time," and "I'm pregnant." She's trying to baby trap me, I think. Edit 2. Lexi messaged me weird things like, "Miss me?" and "I'll take the baby too." Sally then messaged me saying Lexi is in the hospital being treated after a deletion attempt. I don't believe it at all. I've blocked Sally's number now. Edit 3. I called the police and showed evidence of her deletion messages, so she hopefully will be getting checked into an institution. Edit 4. Lexi's aunt, who is the only person on her side that agrees with me, just called me to tell me Lexi has been checked into a psychiatric unit for 2 weeks. I'll keep everyone posted if anything happens, but I should be okay for now. Edit 5. I just want to say thank you for everyone. Edit 5. I just want to say thank you for the overwhelming amount of support. I filed a police report on Sally for assault, and I'm in the process of cancelling the wedding venue. Edit 6. I'm back at the house. I've had a locksmith change the locks just in case. The wedding venue can't be refunded, but it was going to be paid by her parents anyway, so I don't care. I've also contacted my lawyers. Relevant comments. Was Sally there at 4 a.m.? OP's response. My fiancé let her in. Continuing. Giving the silent treatment is literally manipulative and abusive. You're not wrong for calling off the wedding, but please get some therapy because your next relationship. OP's response. To clarify, She didn't speak to me after I confronted her about spreading my trauma to people. I made an effort on multiple occasions to reconcile, but she had none of it. Nobody's asking the important question. Is the beard okay? OP. Apart from the 2 patches missing, it's safe to say it could be worse, but I prefer a full beard. Hi, just thought I'll pop in and give an update for you lot. I would like to give a short rundown of things since said event. Lexi and I separated, expectedly. My beautiful and brilliant adoptive mother passed away in November. I moved to the UK, specifically Sheffield. I bought my beautiful dog called Bailey. I shaved my beard and grew the world's greatest Movember mustache, since it's all for a great cause. Thank you all for the much needed abundance of support. Love you all. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, Jazzy signing off.